वासुदेवः Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The process of creation. Sutavacha Vyasake iti vachas Tattvanischayam Atmanaha Upadharyaamatim Krishne Autreya Satim Vyadhat.
Suta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Uttra, after hearing the speeches of Sukadev Goswami, which were all about the truth of the self, applied his concentration faithfully upon Lord Krishna.
Atmajaya Sutagar Pashudavina Bandhushu Raja cha Vikale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jahu.
Maharaj Parikshit, as a result of his wholehearted attraction to Lord Krishna, was able to give up all deep-rooted affection for his personal body, his wife, his children, his palace, his animals like horses and elephants, his treasury house, his friends and relatives, and his undisputed kingdom.
Prapacha chemam evartham yanmam prachata sattamaha Krishna anubhav shavane shaddhano mahamanaha sanstha vignaya sanyasya karmatre vargikam chayat vasudeve bhagavati atmabhavam dhiram gata.
O great sages, the great soul Maharaj Parikshit, constantly wrapped in thought of Lord Krishna, knowing well of his imminent death, renounced all sorts of fruitive activities, namely acts of religion, economic development, and sense gratification, and thus fixed himself firmly in his natural love for Krishna, and asked all these questions exactly as you are asking me.
Rajuvacha samichinam vacho brahman sargyasya tavanagha tamo vishiryate mayam hare kathyata katham.
Maharaj Parikshit said, O learned Brahmana, you know everything because you are without material contamination. Therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears perfectly right. Your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness of my ignorance, for you are narrating the topics of the Lord.
Bhuya eva vivitsami bhagavan atmamayaya yathedam sejate vishwam durvibhavyam adhishware.
I beg to know from you how the personality of Godhead, by his personal energies, creates these phenomenal universes as they are, which are inconceivable even to the great demigods.
यथा गोपायति विभु यथा सम्यच्छते पुनः यामं यामं शक्तिम् उपाश्रित्य पुरुशक्ति परा पुमान् आत्मानं क्रीडयन् क्रीडन् करोति विकरोति च.
Kindly describe how the Supreme Lord, who is all powerful, engages his different energies and different expansions in maintaining and again winding up the phenomenal world in the supporting spirit of a player.
नूनं भगवतो ब्रह्मन् हरे अद्भुत कर्मणः दुर्विभाव्यम् इवा भाति कविभिः चापि चेष्टितम्.
O Lord Brahma, the transcendental activities of the Lord are all wonderful, and they appear inconvincible because even great endeavors by many learned scholars have still proved insufficient for understanding them.
यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृते युगपत् क्रमशो अपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिश त्व एकः कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one. Whether he alone acts with the modes of material nature, or simultaneously expands in many forms, or expands consecutively to direct the modes of
विचिक्षितम् एतन्मे ब्रवीतो भगवान् यथा शब्दे ब्रह्मणि निष्णतः परस्मिंश्च भवान् खलु.
Kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned in the Vedic literatures and self-realized in transcendence, but are also a great devotee of the Lord and are therefore as good as the personality of Godhead.
सुतवाचा इति उपामन्त्रितो राज्ञा गुणानुकथने हरि ऋषिकेशम् अनुस्मृत्या प्रतिवक्तुं प्रचाक्रमे.
Sutta Goswami said, when Sukadev Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered the master of the senses, Sri Krishna, and to reply properly he spoke thus.
शिशुकावाचा नमा प्रस्मे पुरुषाय भूयसे सदुद्भव स्थानानिरोध लीलया गृहीत शक्तिताया देहिनाम् अंतर्भवाया अनुपलक्ष्याया वर्तमने.
Sutta Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who for the creation of the material world accepts the three modes of nature. He is complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable.
भूयो नमः सद्विजिन छिद्दे असताम् असंभवाया अखिला सत्त्वमूर्ते पुंसां पुनः परमहंसया आश्रमे विवस्थिता विवस्थितानाम् अनुमृग्या दासुसे.
I again offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence, who is the liberator of the pious devotees from all distress and the destroyer of the further advances in aesthetic temperament of the non-devotee demons, for the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection. He grants the specific destinations.
नमो नमस्ते स्तुरिषभाय सात्वतां विदुराकाष्ठाय मुहुकुयोगिनां निरस्ता साम्यति शेनाराधसा स्वधाम्नि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty, and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him, because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable.
यत् कीर्तनं यत् स्मरणं यत् ईक्षणं यद् वन्दनं यद् शवनं यद् अर्हणं लोकस्य सद्यो विधुनोति कल्मषं तस्मै सुभद्रा शिवसे नमो नमः.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, about whom glorification remembrances, audience praise, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effects of all sins of the performer.
विचक्षणाय प्रसादनात् संगम युधस्य भयतो अंतर आत्मनः विन्दन्ति ब्रह्म गतिं गताक्लमास् तस्मै सुभद्रा शवसे नमो नमः.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all-auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, the highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved of all attachments to present and future existence, and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence.
तपस्विनो दानपरा यशस्विनो मनस्विनो मंत्रविदा सुमंगला क्षेमं न विन्दति विना यद् अर्पणं तस्मै सुभद्रा ऋषभसे नमो नमः.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all auspicious Lord Sri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns, and the great followers of the Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedication of such qualities to the service of the Lord.
विराट हुनांद्र पुलिंद उल्काशा अभीरा शुंभा यवना कसादया ये अन्य च पापा यद अपाश्रय आश्रयः शुध्यन्ति तस्मै कवि विष्णवे नमः.
Kirta Huna Andhra Pulinda Palkisa Abhira Sabna Sumba Yavna, members of the Kasa races, and even others addicted to sinful acts, can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord. Due to his being the supreme power, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
सायशा आत्मवताम् अधीश्वरेस् तत्रैमेव धर्ममयस्तपोमया गता व्यालिके अजा शङ्करादिभिः वितर्क्या लिङ्गो भगवान् प्रसीदताम्.
He is the Supersoul and the Supreme Lord of all self-realized souls. He is the personification of the Vedas, religious scriptures, and the austerities. He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all those who are transcendental to all prestations, being so revved with awe and veneration. May the Supreme Absolute be pleased with me.
श्रियापते यज्ञापते प्रजापते धियंपते लोकपते धरापति पतिर्गते चांद का वृष्णि सात्वताम प्रसीदता में भगवान सताम पति.
May Lord Krishna, who is the worshipful Lord of all devotees, the protector and the glory of all the kings, like Andhaka and Vrishni of the Yadu dynasty, the husband of all goddesses of fortune, the director of all sacrifices and therefore the leader of all living entities, the controller of all intelligence, the proprietor of all planets, spiritual and material, and the supreme incarnation on earth, the supreme all in all, be merciful upon me.
यद आंग्री अभिध्यान समाधि धौत्या ध्यानो प्रपश्यन्ते हि तत्त्वम् आत्मनः वदन्ति चेतत् काव्यो यथा रुचम् सा मे मुकुन्दो भगवान् प्रसीदताम्.
It is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who gives liberation by thinking of his lotus feet at every second. Following in the footsteps of authorities, the devotee in trance can see the absolute truth. The learned mental speculators, however, think of him according to their whims. May the Lord be pleased with me.
प्रचोदिता येन पुरा सरस्वती वितन्वताजस्या सतीं स्मृतिं हृदि स्वलक्षणा प्रादुरभूत किलाशयतः सा मे ऋषिणं ऋषभा प्रसीदताम्.
May the Lord, who in the beginning of the creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with the full knowledge of creation and of his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me.
भूते महादिवीर्या इमः पुरो विभुर् निर्माया से ते यद अमुषु पुरुषः भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश आत्मकः सो अलङ्कृष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे.
May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who enlivens the material created bodies of the elements by lying down within the universe, and who in his Purusha incarnation causes the living being to be subjected to the 16 divisions of material modes which are his generator, be pleased to decorate my statements.
नमस्तस्मै भगवते वासुदेवाय वेधसे पापुर्ज्ञानम् अयं सौम्या यन् मुख अम्बुरा आसवम्.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vasudeva, Vyasudeva, the incarnation of Vyasudeva, who complied the Vedic scriptures. The pure devotees drink up the nectarine transcendental knowledge dropping from the lotus-like mouth of
एतद् एवात्मा भूराजन् नारदाय विपच्यते वेद गर्भो अभ्याधात् साक्षात् यद आहा हरिरात्मनः.
My dear king, Brahma the firstborn, on being questioned by Narada, exactly appraised him on this subject, as it had been directly spoken by the Lord to his own son, who was impregnated with Vedic knowledge from his very birth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Please forgive my mistakes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Krishna Govinda, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, so sorry, I had some technical issues.
No
But I'm
problem,
okay now.
Prabhuji. Hare
Can you hear
Krishna.
me
I've
okay?
made you host now, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. I do apologize, everyone. I had a loose connection somewhere, then I had to figure out where it was. But anyway, we're back again. Hare Krishna, everyone. How's everybody?
Very good, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So nice to be back as well. I had been away for a little while. So please do accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Vanjakalpa, Tarubhishya, Kripasidnabhya Vicha, Patitanam, Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. I've forgotten the devotee's name. I was reading the English recitation. The young boy.
Devika.
Devika. Thank you so much, Devika. And to also Rasalila Shrimanti Mataji for the Sanskrit.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Right. So we're going to be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, which is the Cosmic Manifestation, which is Chapter 4, the Process of Creation. And the particular verses that we're going to be reading is 9, 10, and 11. And the one which we'll focus on is verse number 10, because it has the purport, postular purport. So, Chapter 2, Canto 2, Chapter 4, verse number 9. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, I'll just put everybody on mute, if that's okay. Yata Gunavstu Prakriti Yuga Padkramasov Piva Bihati Purishastvaika Gurvam Kamani Janmabhi. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one. Whether he alone acts with the modes of material nature or simultaneously expands in many forms, or expands consecutively to direct the modes of nature. Verse number 10.
Hare Krishna. Can you please share the screen? We
Oh,
can't.
sorry. Just make sure I'm there. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Vijayakate satamitan me pravitu bhagavan yata shabde brahmani nishnataha parashmimscha bhavan kalu. Translation: kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned in the Vedic literatures, are self-realized in transcendence, but are also a great devotee of the Lord, and are therefore as good as the personality of Godhead. Okay, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Purport: in the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Govinda, personality of Godhead, although one without a second, is infallibly expanded by innumerable forms, non-different from one another. And although he is the original person, he is still ever young with permanent youthful energy. It is very difficult to know simply by learning the transcendental science of the Vedas, but he is very easily realized by his pure devotees. The expansions of different forms of the Lord, as from Krishna to Baladev to Sankashan, from Sankashan to Vasudev, from Vasudev to Anuruddha, from Anuruddha to Pradyumna, and then again to the second Sankashan, from him to the Narayan Purusha avatars and innumerable other forms, which are compared to the constant flowing of the uncountable waves of a river, are all one and the same. They are like lamps of equal power, which kindle from one lamp to another. That is the transcendental potency of the Lord. The Vedas says that he is so complete that even though the whole complete identity emanates from him, he still remains the same complete whole. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. As such, there is no validity in the mature conception of the Lord produced by the mental speculator. Thus, he remains always a mystery for the mundane scholar, even if he is vastly learned in the Vedic literatures. Vedeshu adulabam adulam atmabhakto. Therefore, the Lord is beyond the limit of conception for mundane learned scholars, philosophers, or scientists. He is easily understandable for the pure devotee, because the Lord declares in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 54, that after surpassing the stage of knowledge, when one is able to be engaged in devotional service of the Lord, then only can one know the true nature of the Lord. One cannot have any clear conception of the Lord or his holy name, form, attributes, pastimes, etc., unless one is engaged in his transcendental love and service. The statement of the Bhagavad Gita that one must first of all surrender unto the Lord, being freed from all other engagements, means that one must become a pure, unconditional devotee of the Lord. Only then can one know him by the strength of devotional service. Maharaj Parikshit admitted in the previous verse that the Lord is inconceivable even for the greatest learned scholars. Why then should he again ask Sukadeva Goswami to clarify his insufficient knowledge about the Lord? The reason is clear. Not only was Sukadeva Goswami vastly learned in the Vedic literatures, but he was also a great self-realized soul and a powerful devotee of the Lord. A powerful devotee of the Lord is by the grace of the Lord more than the Lord himself. The personality of God, Sri Ramachandra, attempted to bridge the Indian Ocean to reach the island of Lanka, but Sri Hanumanji, the unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead, could cross the ocean simply by jumping over it. The Lord is so merciful upon this pure devotees that he presents his beloved devotee as more powerful than himself. The Lord expressed himself to be unable to save Durvasha Muni, although the Muni was so powerful that he could reach the Lord directly under material conditions. But Durvasha Muni was saved by Maharaj Ambarish, devotee of the Lord. Therefore, not only is the devotee of the Lord more powerful than the Lord, but also worship of the devotee is considered more effective than the worship of the Lord. Mad Bhaktya Pujaya Pyadika. The conclusion is therefore that a serious devotee must approach a spiritual master who not only is well versed in the Vedic literatures, but is also a great devotee with fractal realization of the Lord and his different energies. Without the help of such a devotee spiritual master, one cannot make progress in the transcendental science of the Lord and the bona fide spiritual master. Like Sukadeva Goswami does not speak about the Lord only in the matter of his internal potencies, but also explains how he associates with his external potencies. The Lord's pastimes in the internal potency are displayed in his activities of Vrindavan, but the workings of his external potency are directed in his features of Karandakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and Shirodakshai Vishnu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti offers his good counsel to the interested Vaishnavas when he says that they should not be interested in hearing only about the Lord's activities like Rasa Leela, but must be keenly interested in his pastimes and his features of the Purusha avatars in connection with Shristi Tattva, creational functions. Following the example of Maharaj Parikshit, the ideal disciple, and Sukadeva Goswami, the ideal spiritual master. The final verse for today is verse number 11. Sutta vacha iti upanamrito gragya guna no katane hari vishekesha manusmritya prati vaktum prachakrame. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, when Sukadeva Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered master of the senses, Sri Krishna, and to reply properly, he spoke thus. So on this occasion, I want to read the purport due to the time constraint. First of all, I'd just like to recite the invocation prayers. Please do join in. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manohambishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tatati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakavatamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhana Sata Devi Pranamami Hariya Mancha Karapa Tarubhyasha Kripa Sindhubhya Patitara Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'd like to offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, His co-founder, Chair. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale, Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamane, Namaste Saraswati Devam, Gauravani Pachayane, Nirvishesa Sanyavadi Pashata Desatarana. Also like to offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhatale Srimati Bhakti Swami Tinamane. Also like to offer my obeisances to all of you and thanking you for allowing me to speak today on the wonderful glories and topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam, a conversation between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj as narrated by Sutta Goswami and to Sharaka Rishi and all the sages at Namasharanya Forest. So this particular chapter is discussing about the cosmic manifestation. Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukadev the concept of the creation, how it's been created, and about the Supreme Lord and its different forms of the Lord Himself. So as Sukadev Goswami starts explaining, he also explains about Krishna and his different expansions. As we can see from Srila Prabhupada's purport, he mentions here that the different forms and expansions of the Lord Krishna to Baladev, to Sankarshan, from Sankarshan to Vasudev, from Vasudev to Anuruddha, from Anuruddha to Pradyumna, then again to another second Sankarshan, from him to the Narayan Purusha avatars, and innumerable other forms. And Srila Prabhupada explains that the number of forms are almost unlimited as compared to all the waves of a flowing river. You know, no matter how many times you see the ripples or the waves flowing past you, there's constantly more and more waves coming all the time. So similarly, there may be incarnations or manifestations of the Supreme Lord, but still it's almost unlimited. That is inconceivable for one to understand how many expansions of the Supreme Lord there are. And each of the expansions of the Supreme Lord are almost identical to the Supreme Lord Himself. And Prabhupada gives an example of the candle lamp. When you light up a candle lamp, when you use that lamp to light another candle or another candle or another candle, the qualities and the light emanated from each of the candle are the same as the first candle itself. So in terms of like seniority or in terms of like quality, name, form, pastimes, they are all equal in every aspect from a spiritual perspective. Now, there are considered to be, of course, unlimited incarnations of the Supreme Lord, but they're also categorized in 6 different avatars. Does anybody know what the 6 avatars, different types of avatars there are, or expansions of the Lord? Okay. Okay, I just got this from ISKCON Desire Tree, 6 categories of avatars. So the first one is the Purusha avatar. Second one is the Leela avatar. Third one is the Guna avatars. Fourth is the Manvantara avatars. Fifth is the Yuga avatars. And 6th is the Shakti Avesh avatar. Now I just wanted to make sure, can you see that on the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. So the first one, the Purusha avatar. Krishna first incarnates as the 3 Purusha avatars, namely Karandaksha Vishnu, the Lord who is lying in the causal ocean, Garbhadaksha Vishnu, the Lord who is lying on the universal ocean. And when the Lord is lying in the universal ocean, he enters again as Shiradaksha Vishnu, the Lord who is lying on the ocean of the milk itself, and he expands into all the living entities at the same time. Then number 2 is the Leela avatars. A list of Leela avatars, past-time incarnations mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, like Kumars, Narada, Varaha, Matsya, Yagya, Narayan, Kadami, Datreya, Ayar, Shirsha. Ayar, Shirsha, Hamsa, Dhruvapriya, and so forth. This even got the names of Nishimba, Kurma, Dhanvantari, Mohini, Vamana, was Ramachandra, Parashuram. It's basically the 10 incarnations here as well. But the unusual thing, it's got Krishna here as well, but that'll be explained in a short while. The 3 good avatars is also like the expression of Krishna in the form of Vishnu, who takes the good avatar pose, is in the mode of sattvic, the mode of goodness, maintenance. Then you've got Brahma, he's responsible for the Rajaguna, the mode of passion. And then you've got Lord Shiva, or passion and creation actually. Then you've got Lord Shiva, he's responsible for the mode of ignorance or destruction of the universal cosmic manifestation. Then you've got the Manvantara avatars. So Brahma's day is about 1,000 Chatu Yugas. It's divided into 14 periods of the rules of Manus, father of mankind, known as Manvantaras. Incarnations during these Manvantaras are listed as follows. You've got different names like Yagya, Vibhu, Satyasena, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajita, Savabhoma, Rishabha, Vishvakshena, Dharma, Sudama, Yogeshwara, Vihadanu. And then you've got the Yuga avatars. So in the 4 yugas, ages which comes in cycles of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, and it's got the duration of how long each of the yugas are in years. And each of, say, from Kali Yuga is double that for Dwapara Yuga. The double of Dwapara Yuga is the same as Treta Yuga. Oh no, actually, add 432,000 years to 864,000 years. And then once again, add that figure on to get such a yuga. In each of these yugas, the Lord incarnates with a different body, color according to the yuga. Now, does anybody know what the different colors are for each yuga? Say, for instance, Satya Yuga. Before I scroll down. Okay. Let me just read this verse to you. Asan Rajnas Trayohyasya Grinoto no Yugam Tanu Shukloraktas Tata Pita Idanim Krishnatam Kata. Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. Now he has appeared in a blackish color from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, verse 13. So in Satya Yuga, he comes as the representation of a white avatar and appeared to Kadama Muni to establish meditation as the process for self-realization. So that is Kapila Muni, the son of Devahuti. And then in Treta Yuga, he comes in a red avatar, prepared to Brahma to establish fire sacrifice as the process for self-realization. So it doesn't actually mention who this is, but I believe this is referred to Lord Varahadev, because he came from the nostril of Lord Brahma. And in Dwapara Yuga, the dark avatar Krishna appeared as the son of Devaki to establish temple worship, the process for self-realization. And in Kali Yuga, the golden avatar appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the son of Sachi, Mata, and Jagannath Mishra to establish a chanting of the holy names, Nam Sankirtan. Then finally, you got the Shakti Avish avatars. Shakti Avish avatars, empowered incarnations. There's no limit to the number of Shakti Avish incarnations, but there are mentioned in the Vedic literatures as examples. There are 2 kinds, direct and indirect. When the Lord himself expands, displaying a particular power of his opulence, is known as Shakshat. When he empowers a living entity with some particular Shakti, power for some specific activity to represent him, the living entity is called indirect or Avesh incarnation. Avesh incarnations some of the names of incarnations are 4 Kumaras empowered with knowledge, Narada empowered with devotional service, Brahma empowered with creative power, King Prithu empowered with power to maintain living beings, Parashuram empowered with power to kill evil elements, and Vedavyas to compile the Vedas. So here there's 6 types of avatars that is mentioned in this particular website, which is the ISKCON Desire Tree. Going back to this particular verse. So there it gives you a little example of how many incarnations there are, or expansions of the Supreme Lord in the different sort of yugas that takes place specifically for that particular yuga. Now, in further along, it mentions about when we mentioned about the Supreme Lord, that even though he's a complete whole, even though he may expand into many, many more expansions, he's still complete in each of those expansions himself. And that is also recognized in this particular verse from Sri Upanishad. Now, does anybody want to recite the verse and also the translation? It's a very popular verse. Everyone's feeling shy. Okay, I'll recite it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can recite Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Namrata
If that's
Mataji,
okay.
please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. I was just looking for my glasses, Prabhuji, but I can't find them, so I'll try my best. Haribo.
Yeah, sure. Shall I zoom in?
If just a little bit, Prabhuji, if that's okay. Sorry, couldn't find
Yeah,
my
sure.
glasses. Perfect. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, is that better?
This is much better. Thank you so much. You want me to read the translation, Prabhuji?
Yeah, the verse first and then the translation.
But Prabhuji, I think I can only see the ESO invocation. I can't see the verse unless it's my screen. Sorry.
Oh, that is the verse. Om Purnam Ada
Oh,
Purnamidam.
okay.
Yeah.
Haribo, Haribo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prabhu. Om Purnam Ada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachayate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Sisyate.
Yep. Eva Vasishyate. Very good.
Translation. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because he's completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself, because he is the complete whole. Even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains a complete balance.
Thank you, Namrata Mataji.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
So there it explains that even though the personality of God is perfect and complete, that every emanations that come from him, such as even this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped in complete wholes. Even though he may expand himself into many other units, he still remains a complete balance. As the example that Prabhupada gave in the actual verse itself, in the purport from the previous verse. I'll just show you that. Okay. Okay, so Prabhupada says, they are like lamps of equal power, which kindle from one lamp to another. So even though Krishna is the supreme personality of God, and we always know that there is, of course, all the expressions come from Krishna himself, but then as we explained, there are many incarnations. There's different 6 types of avatars that we explained earlier on as well. Okay. Okay, further along, Srila Prabhupada explains about that even though he may expand himself in so many different forms, it is not easy for the like the scholars or scientists or anybody of sort of somebody very literate in the Vedic studies. They may not still be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it actually explains in the Bhagavad Gita as well. There's one particular verse, I remember remembering this particular verse recently. The verse is from chapter 11, verse 53. Naha vede na tapasa na delina na chaya yaya sakya iva vido drashtum drishta vanashimam yata. So just earlier on when Lord Krishna, when Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna to ask for his universal form, so Krishna gives him his divine eyes. So with these transcendental eyes, he could actually see the universal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without that divine eyes, he would be completely, or nobody could see Krishna in that universal form, would just completely become blind. So the translation of that particular verse states that the form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by this means that one can see me as I am. So it actually here, this particular verse, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that you can go through so many serious penances, austerity, giving abundance of different forms of charity to people in need. You could carry out, immense kind of worship, perform yajnas, perform all sort of tapasya to see the Supreme Lord. Even by studying the Vedas as well, you can constantly read and read and read, but it's not by these kind of means that you can actually understand Krishna. So how can you actually understand Krishna then? So in the next verse, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna, Bhaktyatva Nanya Sakya Aham Evam Vidorjuna Gyatum Drastum Chatattvena Praveshtum Cha Pranam Tapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So this is the important aspect of every person who wants to come connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by performing devotional service. Performing devotional service, reading, chanting, hearing, remembering the Supreme Lord in just different pastimes, but performing different tapasya on its own is not enough to actually see the Supreme Lord. But when you do that devotional service and the mood from surrendering unto a pure devotee, then the Lord reveals himself. And that is explained further on when Prabhupada actually mentions that, that although you could actually try to understand about the Supreme Personality of God, it's only when you come in contact with the spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, not just any ordinary person, that you can actually get that transcendental quality, that mercy, or that blessings by the authoritative spiritual master to be able to be connected to Krishna. And actually here it actually mentions that the pure devotees of Krishna considered to be even greater than Krishna himself. And he gives two particular examples. I'll share that screen onto you, but does anybody remember those two examples that Prabhupada mentions, that even though the Lord is most powerful, by the grace of the Lord, he himself gives that empowerment to his pure devotees. Anybody know two examples that you could tell me? Let me even giving you a clue. Okay, I'll read it out to you. The personality of Godhead, Sri Ramachandra, attempted to bridge the Indian Ocean, capable of doing everything or anything, but because he also wanted to show the exemplary act of coming down as a human being, he didn't want to show off his powers or his ability as the Supreme Lord. So what happens? He allows his pure devotee Hanumanji to cross over the ocean to the other side, to Lanka, to find out the whereabouts of Mother Sita, even though Lord Ramachandra had to build a bridge across from southern tip of India all the way to Sri Lanka. And another example he gave when Devarshi Muni tried to curse Ambarish Maharaj because of a small mistake, or he thought it was a big mistake, but most of you will probably know the story. And then because he tried to condemn Ambarish Maharaj, Lord Vishnu actually sent Sudarshan Chakra to sort of chase away Devarshi Muni. Devarshi Muni, even though he's an empowered person, he traveled around everywhere to ask for help from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even they couldn't help. And he went to Lord Vishnu to ask, please, 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 retract the Sudarshan Chakra, is going to kill me. And Lord Vishnu, of course, is capable of doing anything, but he said, no, I am unable to do that. You have to go and see my pure devotee, Ambarish Maharaj, who you offended. So he went to Ambarish Maharaj, and what did Ambarish Maharaj? He thought there was no fault at all. And he asked the prayers of Lord Vishnu to say, please forgive any inconsiderations that may have taken place at that time. And here we can actually see a wonderful example, even in Srila Prabhupada's. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago, He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the avatari of Krishna and Radharani combined. And he kind of expanded Krishna consciousness throughout not just India, but every part of the world itself. He could have actually fulfilled that prophecy himself. In every town and village, the glories of the holy name shall be spread. But why didn't he do that? Because he wanted that glorification to his devotee. And we're so fortunate in the parampara from Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his spiritual master, Sri Jagannath Babaji, Gaur Das Babaji, then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, who established the Gaudiya Math, and then thanks to Srila Prabhupada, who came at the ripe age of 70 when most people are retired. If you heard the class by Shodhaka Rishi yesterday, he was saying that even he's not even like 70 at all, but you can feel like his old age, you can feel his bones creaking and so far. And he was thinking he wanted to retire himself, but when he sees Prabhupada, what he did at the age of 70, crossing the ocean over 40, 50 days in a cargo ship, living in austere conditions for 1 year, trying to make devotees around the world. And somehow or another, Krishna obviously gave him that ability. He's also like considered to be a Shakti Avatar because by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, he was able to fulfill the prophecy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and spread Krishna consciousness to practically every town and village. So then here, this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada refers to, therefore not only is a devotee of the Lord more powerful than the Lord, but also worship of the devotee is considered more effective than the direct worship of the Lord. And he quotes this particular verse, Mad Bhakya Pujaya Puja Bhyadika. So I wasn't sure exactly what that verse was referred to, so I looked it up. It actually comes from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 19, verses 20 and 24. So that verse is the second verse. Adara Paricharayam Sarvanga Abhivandanam Mad Bhakta Puja Bhyadika Sarvabhuteshu Marmati. And the translation is quite a big translation. Does somebody want to read the translation, please?
I can read it.
Yeah, Yashvina Mataji, Sachi Mataji.
Firm faith in the blissful narrations of my pastimes, constant chanting of my glories, unwavering attachment to ceremonial worship of me, praising me through beautiful hymns, great respect for my devotional service, offering obeisances with the entire body, performing first-class worship of my devotees, consciousness of me in all living entities, offering of ordinary bodily activities in my devotional service, use of words to describe my qualities, offering the mind to me, rejection of all material desires, giving of wealth for my devotional service, renouncing material sense gratification and happiness, and performing all desirable activities such as charity, sacrifice, chanting, vows and austerities with the purpose of achieving me. These constitute actual religious principles by which those human beings who have actually surrendered themselves to me automatically develop love for me. What other
Thank you.
purpose or goal could remain for my devotee?
Thank you so much, Yashvini
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
for that recitation. So here's a beautiful verse actually explaining how Krishna wants his devotees to perform the different activities in devotional service to be able to surrender to him and remember him, his names, forms, glories, and pastimes. I just wanted to ask, is there somebody singing a bhajan today at all?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, there is, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. I'll just quickly check the last part of my note. Okay, there are some other points I wanted to mention, but anyway, because we're running out of time, it's 2040. I'm going to stop there. I thank you much, everyone, for listening, and please forgive me for any mistakes. And please let me know if any corrections too as well. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhatale Shrimate Bhakti Swamite Namane. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhatale Shrimate Bhakti Swamite Namane. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderfully explained as always, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, today we have a lovely bhajan called Radhe Radhe Shyamal Pyari, and it will be sung by our lovely Indira Mataji. But before she sings, can we please have Yashwini Mataji to do the English recitation? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Translation of this beautiful bhajan. You are the lover of all love. Lord Krishna is madly loving you. Without Krishna, you are like a silent flute, unable to produce a tone or melody. Now your mercy will shower upon me. Please deliver me, O boat of life. Radhe, Radhe, please show me the path to attain a pure life. I will break all false bonds and offer myself completely to your lotus feet. After saying this, why have you become silent? Please deliver me, O boat of life. Lord Shama is the ocean of love for Radha, who is the nectarian shore. From this shore, there is drop that flashes and shines. I surrender unto your lotus feet, and please change me. Please deliver me, O boat of life. You are devotional service. You are spiritual power. You are Jagamaya. Those who meditate upon you and worship you will cut false material relations. O beloved of Sham, we are worshippers of love. Please deliver me, O boat of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe Shamal Pyari Taro Jeevan Naiya. Radhe Radhe Shamal Pyari Taro Jeevan Naiya. Dware Ai दीन भिखारी तारो जीव सॉरी द्वारे आई दीन भिखारी तारो जीवन नैया तू है भक्त तू है प्रीति सावरिया की श्यामल तेरे दीवाने तू है प्रीति सावरिया की श्यामल तेरे दीवाने श्यामल बिना जो बंसी सुनी सुर बिना सुने तराने अब बरसेगी कृपा तिहारी तारो जीवन नैया राधे राधे श्यामल प्यारी तारो जीवन नैया द्वारे आई दीन भिखारी तारो जीवन नैया राधे 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 मुझको साचा जीवन पाऊं राधे राधे राह दे मुझको साचा जीवन पाऊं झूठी बंधन तोड़ देऊ सारे चरणों में मित जाऊं अब क्यों चुप हो मेरी बारी तारो जीवन नैया राधे राधे श्यामल प्यारी तारो जीवन नैया द्वारे आए दीन भिखारी तारो जीवन नैया श्यामल सरिता प्रेमे माही है, राधा अमृत धारा। श्यामल सरिता प्रेमे माही है, राधा अमृत धारा। धारा से बूंद जो छलके हो जाए निशतारा। शरणे पड़े है सुध लो हमारी, तारो जीवन नैया। राधे राधे श्यामल प्यारी, तारो जीवन नैया। द्वारे आई दीन भिखारी, तारो जीवन नैया। तू है भक्ति, तू है शक्ति, तू ही है जग माया। तू है भक्ति, तू है शक्ति, तू ही है जग माया। तेरा चिंतन बंधन काटे, जिसने भी तुझको धाया। श्यामा प्रिया हम प्रेम पुजारी, तारो जीवन नैया। राधे राधे श्यामल प्यारी, तारो जीवन नैया। द्वारे आए दीन भिखारी, तारो जीवन नैया। राधे राधे श्यामल प्यारी, तारो जीवन नैया। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।
Jai, thank you so much. That was so beautifully sung in the Ramataji. Thank you so much. It reminded me of my mother, which I used to sing. That was 30 years ago. She used to do sangha. So thank you so much. Was there any other announcements? Anybody? No, okay. Was just in there. So thank you very much. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Just a
Thank you,
reminder.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a nice class.
Just a quick reminder, on Thursday, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's 150th appearance day. So there is a program at Bhaktivedanta Manor. It's half a day fast, if it's feasible for any of you. And in the afternoon, between 4:30 till 9, there's going to be a program at Bhaktivedanta Manor with kirtans, bhajans, and prasadam. Hare Krishna, see you all there.